Okay guys, this is the second talk that we have. Some of you probably got our podcast and I hope that you will continue to follow us. And as usual, we have RB Flask.
Hello.
And again, for the people that didn't hear the first podcast, can you introduce yourself, RB? Round bottom Flask, correct?
RB Flask, yes.
RB Flask. And we have Baron Ziggy. Hello?
Hello.
Baron Ziggy, can you tell me again for the 55th time, I don't know how many times you repeated your name, your full entire name? Just for
Oh, yes. Well, my full name is Baron Siegfried von Glockenspiel. But you can call me Baron Ziggy or BS for short.
BS, okay. But no, Baron Ziggy is fine. BS can be misinterpreted, I think. Do you have some German descendant, Baron Ziggy?
A little bit. The general Austro-Hungarian Empire area.
Whoa, Austro-Hungarian. That's not bad. RB Flask, are you instead a full American, 100% American?
I consider myself as such.
Oh, all right, okay. And of course, my voice is of Conte Mario l'Italiano. And from the accent, clearly you can understand that I'm from Italy. And we are going to speak today about energy. How to save energy, what to do to save energy. Do we need to save energy, by the way? Let's ask actually, what do you think, RB Flask? Do we need to save energy?
I think that energy shouldn't be wasted, but I think we're more in a situation where we need to find better ways to produce it and to some degree store it. I think that some ways that people are using it are inappropriate. I think it's a total waste of hydrocarbons when you see an F-350 driving on the street with one guy in it.
Well, go ahead, Baron Ziggy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about energy. I know there's one gym somewhere that hooks their bicycle and other machines up to power generator, and that's how they keep themselves lit. So, I don't know, maybe we can use more people power, but I don't know if that's the most efficient way of producing large amounts of energy. But, you know, it's a fun thought.
No, I mean, there are other ways. I agree for the saving energy. I mean, and I agree on not drive a car alone, etc. But RB Flask, what do you think, for example, in saving energy with electricity, for example, using different light bulbs?
Oh, the light bulbs. Well, that's a ripoff. That's a complete scam. They shouldn't be doing it. Obviously, someone's getting a lot of money out of it. And you've got to like the way that they're shutting down, you know, the old-fashioned light bulb, you know, and importing all these foreign-made light bulbs, which are just a bad idea. Compact fluorescent bulbs are crap. For sure, they look more efficient, but there's two things they're forgetting. Number one, a lot of them have a really lousy power factor. What that means is they use less watts, but they still use a bunch of voltamps. Well, your bill is for watts. The power lines that carry it carry voltamps. So you're still taxing the grid with these things. Secondly, I don't know if the people who make up these rules all live in Los Angeles or something, but for those of us who live in temperate climes, we can usually use the waste heat. An incandescent bulb, a 100-watt bulb, maybe it only produces a watt or two of visible light, but it produces 100 watts of heat.
No, but no, wait a second.
So we're not wasting it.
That's not true, RB Flask. I'm very surprised. I thought actually fluorescence was very much saving a light.
I like fluorescent light bulbs, but compact fluorescents are crappy. I mean, you look at a regular fluorescent light bulb, it's got a ballast, it's fairly durable. It's not replaceable with the bulb. It generally lasts longer than the bulb, so they can afford to make it nice. They get efficient, reliable. You take a compact fluorescent, they have to make a ballast that is cheap enough to throw away. And a lot of them really have very underspecified parts in there. They tend to fail with emission of smoke, which is something a light bulb should not do, and that an incandescent bulb cannot do. It's really disturbing when you find smoke curling out of a lighting fixture.
Well, I thought that actually the fluorescent.
Plus, if you're a musician, the fluorescent lights on the circuit as your musical equipment make everything noisy and sound bad.
Oh.
Some of us need incandescence. Some of us have a valuable need.
I didn't know that, but anyway, I'm surprised of your position. Anyway, what do you
They're
think?
a bad design. It's not a bad idea. It's a bad design.
What do you think of LED?
I think they have a ways to go. I mean, again, there's the power supply issue. LEDs really want, a constant current, not a constant voltage supply, but all our infrastructure is designed otherwise. I think that there's room for them to evolve, though, and I've got a couple. They work. Thing is, I've seen LED bulbs wear out to the point where, the LEDs are still working, but when the phosphors go, the thing just ends up spitting out most of its energy in the ultraviolets, and then you can't see it. And they don't always last as long as they say they will. So time will tell,
I thought actually that was a way to save energy. Baron Ziggy, I mean...
It's a trivial way to save energy. Most of the energy we use, you don't see in your household. Most of it goes for such things as growing your food.
Wow. Baron Ziggy, any comment?
So, speaking of the food growth, once I had the wild idea, a lot of greenhouse emission gases are caused by cow farts. So what if we could harness those cow farts and maybe, they're
excellent
methane-based, emissions. So maybe we could harvest those and maybe turn them into plastics or something. Make our plastics out of cow farts instead of fossil fuels.
I like it.
I don't know enough chemistry to know if that's realistic, but...
I do, and I think that, if you could just teach the cows to fart acetylene, that would probably work. Methane's not a very good feedstock, but,
No, but about to extend to people. Socially, we know that if a person fart in the public, it's disgusting, everyone laugh, everyone...
It's also hilarious, though.
But how about instead to make a collector, all right, for people, and make it socially acceptable, and so everyone claps and say, very good, you save energy, and so there is no, the outside, doesn't come out, and so there is no that part of smell or people laughing, and so socially acceptable that type of fart. That's excellent. What do you think? Arbifest?
I think it's hilarious.
No, it's not hilarious. I think it's quite a good idea. Baron Ziggy, very good. Because what do you think to extend to people in a party, for example? And this person that puts this special device, for burps, or when you burp, when you drink too much. What do you think, Baron Ziggy? I think it's.
Oh, well, that sounds like it certainly has a lot of potential applications.
Yes, absolutely. However, some people they will argue. Some people that are for atomic energy.
I'm for it.
But people cannot create atomic energy, even if
we have. They can.
No, we have isotopes. How can we create atomic energy? But via fart? No, you cannot fart and create atomic energy.
No.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Maybe if you have an atomic burrito.
Oh, good point. Good point. If we start to increase the isotopes of the burritos or pizza, what do you think? Pizza also. And so maybe the outcome is radioactive, but then how do you harvest energy? That's getting complex. I think it's getting complex. Arbiflex, what is your opinion? For example, you were saying that from people you can have atomic energy.
No, I'm saying that we basically need atomic energy, or we're all going to die. Basically, when we run out of everything, which we will.
No.
So when are we going to run out of everything?
I don't know.
Well, but...
it depends on how many people are left. The Earth could probably support 50 to 100 million people indefinitely with no technological energy sources.
Rambaton.
That's a lot less people than there are.
No, if you tell us when are we going to end the world, you can write 2-3 books and make money on that. What do you think? You should say something for our listener. They will buy immediately your books about the end of the world.
But there's so many more popular books that say, hey, look, some of us are making lots of money, therefore everything's fine. And those are much more popular books. That's what people really want to hear, is that you can make a pile of money and everything will be fine.
Anyway, so nuclear. I'm sorry, but in Japan, people got very mad about this nuclear reactor that almost exploded during the earthquake. And you are for nuclear energy?
Yes.
Oh, why?
Well, first of all, I think that, we're still milking the 50s and 60s era reactor technology. If, obviously private industry is not going to pay for R&D here, but it needs to be done. And as far as what happened in Japan, there have been a lot of reactor accidents caused by the loss of station power. And there are designs of reactor which are not, subject to the same levels of instability. CANDU is one of them. Canadian Natural Abundance Deuterium Uranium Reactor. And there are even newer technologies that really should be developed. And then there's the fringe things that might someday work. For example, the Polywell fuser. Lockheed Martin has just picked it up as something they're trying to work on. And then there's ITER going up in France. I think a fusion-fission combination power cycle is probably what we're going to have to move for as a species, unless we just want to, just run out of fossil fuel and then have a massive starvation and die off as a species.
I think farting is much safer than nuclear power. To fart for cow and human people. Imagine how many billions people? 5 billion people farting, and we will make it more than nuclear power. Barentsig, I don't want to keep you outside the discussion, but what do you think from the German side? Go ahead, Barentsig. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you. I think there's a lot of potential in the cow fart field.
Yes.
So maybe we can't make plastics out of them, but methane, it's a good, it's natural gas. Can probably do something with the cow farts and stop one of the major sources of global warming.
Yes.
But I don't know, there are a lot of energy solutions out there. There's perpetual motion devices and, cold fusion. If they're still working on cold fusion?
No more. I don't think anymore. Because...
I think the problem with cold fusion is it discredits fusion research in general, which is, sort of thing that could, kill our species, blah, blah, blah. We've got to take that next step.
Got cold. The cold fusion got cold. So it's not anymore a discussion in the scientific community. But I'm very fixated, I don't know why, probably my shrink will say something about the farting part, because animals and human people can give a lot of energy. But
you get more energy by simply burning excess animals for fuel. You know what I'm saying? You're still not getting something for nothing. You could just burn the whole cow in an incinerator.
Well, yeah, but I think it could be more productive to collect the cow farts and harvest what energy you can from there.
But
then maybe strategically burn part of the cow on a grill and then eat a delicious steak. And then maybe, capture some of that heat energy, have more efficient grills.
Or if instead of feeding the food to the cow and waiting for the methane, you could just grow a culture of methanogenic bacteria. But then again, the fodder for the cow has to be grown. This all takes energy.
Well, no, you're right. Actually, that's a good point. But anyway, do you think that there are other things that we can use for energy besides radioactivity and that I do not agree, and farts?
Well, there's space solar.
Space solar.
Yes, as the MC5 once sang, there is a land where the sun shines eternally out in outer space, a living blazing fire. You put some solar panels up there in the Lagrange points, and then you'll have all the power that you want. The only thing is, how do you get it to Earth? I suppose microwave beams are one idea. You'd have to watch where they were pointed at.
What about a space elevator? You could just kind of run a cable down?
I think that space solar is totally possible. I mean, if you look at the environment, since it's vacuum, you don't necessarily need a solid state photocell. You could actually put a cesium vacuum tube out on, say, the moon's surface or out of Lagrange point. The electrons would just boil off, you collect them, get voltage, get energy.
How do you transfer to Italy too? Not just to Italy.
Microwave beam. You need to have it power a magnetron or something, and then the beam of microwaves would be picked up on the ground and rectified to produce DC power.
Actually, no, that's a good point. How do you transfer? Who will be in charge of this energy? The entire planet? Who will be in charge? The space belongs to everyone.
I don't think that would hold up. I think the only reason that space belongs to every nation equally is right now no one's figured out how to get anything useful from it. I think the second someone's making money, people will be staking claims. It's kind of like Antarctica now. You don't make a claim because what's the point?
Yeah, good point. No, so solar energy. What do you think, Baron Zig, of this idea of collecting in the space some energy and process?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Or maybe we could build Newt Gingrich's moon base and then use that solar energy for mining, or I don't know. Is there anything useful to mine on the moon?
That's the political side of the situation. See, Baron Ziggy is right. Newt Gingrich immediately will get it. He will put his political hands right there. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Baron Ziggy. I'm sorry, I'd be flesk.
There are those who think that helium-3 isotope could be profitably mined at the moon for use in fusion reactors. Myself, I'm not sure that's likely. The helium-3 reaction is much more difficult than the deuterium-tritium reaction that they're currently using in the pilot plants at ITER and places like that.
But then can be dangerous because terrorists can take.
But putting nuclear power plants on the moon would be a cool idea. You could beam the energy back, and if something blows up, well, it was only the moon.
Yeah, but
that's true.
No, but wait a second. But then you lose the LEM, the LEM, and other things that they landed on the moon. No, I don't. It's a nice thing. The American flag is destroyed then, if there is a nuclear reaction. You don't care?
A flag is just a symbol.
Oh, come on! It's important.
The flag is not the same thing as a flag.
Explain.
The flag represents an idea. I mean, that one flag on the moon, even if something happens to it, we were still there. That's all it means.
How can you prove it?
There first. Woohoo!
I don't believe that the people went on the moon. Now you have a nuclear reaction, wipe out the proof, the only proof that they have, and so everyone that think that we never went on the moon, they will say, see, they are wiping out the possible proof that we didn't go on the moon.
But if we have to go to the moon to wipe out the proof that we didn't go, then it's going to be pretty academic, because obviously we'll have to go, at some point, and so that'll prove we did go after all.
Good point. Good point. Yes, you're right. Baron Ziggy, what do you think of nuclear reactors on the moon?
I don't know. Depends on, the moon-based situation. Maybe we could have some solar-powered asteroid mining. I don't know if they would really get enough sunlight to power the mining, mining crews or mining robots or mining Bruce Willis. But I think there's some good stuff in those asteroids.
Oh, Bruce Willis. Yeah, you're right. I forgot the asteroids of Bruce Willis. Baron Ziggy has a good point. I'll be flexible. What do you think asteroids? Bruce Willis asteroids especially.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think they're a potential source of minerals and things. But, pretty much all that, I don't know. We've got all that stuff here on Earth. The question is, it's all a matter of concentration and extracting it economically. Basically, I think mining gold from asteroids is probably going to be even more difficult than extracting it from seawater would be.
Seawater, that's another thing. What do you think of energy from seawater, from the waves?
Tidal energy?
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I think that it's not always going to have as much density or total energy as we'd like, but I mean, definitely if you start adding together things like tidal power and wind power, you start really making a difference.
Wait a second, I have a question.
But only nuclear can give us enough energy to get along without fossil fuels.
You like nuclear, I like farting. Do the whales fart?
I believe they might.
Because so in controlling their position, we can put it in the back, the GPS, and some type of collectors. But then how do you transfer the gas? That is difficult. I don't know how to collect the gas. I'm sorry, you are fixated with nuclear, I'm fixated with the gas, and maybe Baron Ziggy also fixated with the gas, but with the idea of Newt Gingrich on Moon's base. Baron Ziggy, other ideas? What do you think for energy to save or produce energy? I mean, are you in agreement, for example, for nuclear power?
I don't know. So the only way that we can get rid of fossil fuels is to switch to nuclear? We can't
Certainly. I mean, if you have sufficient energy, you can make your own hydrocarbons. But you need an energy source to do it.
About the earthquakes near the nuclear power system.
And that's not just for motor fuel, it's for chemical feedstocks, for the plastics, and, fertilizers and medicines that you take for granted. But if we didn't have them, there'd be a lot less people on the planet.
How about alternatives? Other alternatives are reflected like geothermic energy.
Geothermal energy?
Yeah.
It's limited in place. Right now it can only be done by, having a groundwater feature in just the right place where there's just the right cracks in the rock layers that allow water to go down there and, heat up. And the delta T is not huge, so your Carnot efficiency can be pretty low. And finally, there are complaints. They started putting up some geothermal plants by Yellowstone, and they ended up killing some of the geysers. And that made environmentalists very sad. I mean, right now, geothermal really doesn't go very far down into the Earth. Now, if we could somehow tap the energy from the core of the Earth, which pretty much is a nuclear reactor, naturally shielded from us by miles of rock,
but then the core, I mean, you don't do any damage to the core?
I don't know. Why not try and see?
Baron Ziggy, what do you think of geothermic or other alternatives? You had definitely, I really approve your fantastic idea of the farting. But anyway, no, what do you think of geothermic?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the source. Iceland runs mostly on geothermal, but they have, it's a pretty volcanic country and it's a pretty small country. But I don't know, maybe if we could drill something deeper towards the core of the Earth, we could get some energy from the heat or even from the radioactivity of the Earth's core. And I think if you go deep enough, there are dinosaurs down there, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Dinosaurs were put by the devil how many thousands a year ago? I don't remember.
Of course, the cool paleontologists.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that sounds kind of like Gnosticism. That there is a good God, Jesus, and an evil God who deceives us. I mean, that was an early Christian heresy.
Oh, you're right.
I believe they stamped it out by the usual method. Yeah,
but then if we find the dinosaurs, then the people, creationists are in trouble. So
No, the point of creationism is that it's a belief system involving denial of observed reality. As such, you can deny pretty much anything.
All right, okay.
I think there were people still denying that the Earth was round right up until the 70s when they started getting photos of the whole Earth from space.
Oh, I'm sure there are still people who are doing it.
Really?
Yeah, there's still flat Earth societies.
Oh, yeah. No, but now to the political last point, to the political part. Who is a very good representative, a political representative for example, nuclear reactor on the moon is clearly Newt Gingrich. But for example, who can represent very well farting? farting by the cow and by people. Would you think would be the good political image that the politician that will take advantage of that?
Maybe Ron Paul.
Ron Paul, why?
I think he would probably want more gold-powered energy device.
No farting?
I don't know. I think Bill Clinton would be, he's really proactive, finding funding for environmental sources, because of his friend Al Gore. I think that Bill Clinton would be behind some fart-based energy solutions.
Thank you for telling me, because when you were saying Bill Clinton behind, I thought that he was the major producer of energy by far. But anyway, no, you clearly explained quite well. So you think Ron Paul, RB Flesk?
Sure.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, because, I can just picture the rugged Western cow fart rancher, that would be a good image for our country. There's this guy, cowboys herding cattle around all day, and harvesting their farts with giant funnels and hoses.
I was thinking...
I think that's, the America that we've got to get back to.
That's right.
Yeah. I was thinking for farting, actually, Sarah Palin, actually, but then it was between farting and geothermic, because she's a big time in Alaska with the...
Oh yeah, drill baby drill.
Exactly, and so...
I think she could lead the push to drill all the way to Earth's core.
Yes. But
maybe
then,
like an Earth's core pipeline.
You're right. RB Flesk, what do you think nuclear? Who can be very good representative of nuclear, politically speaking?
Honestly, politicians are such cowards, they won't even tackle the issue.
Whoa.
You would need someone brave and who wasn't an idiot, and that would be kind of hard to find, I think, in our system.
Yeah, well...
I mean, I don't think any politician is out there thinking of, in 50 years we'll be out of energy and we'll start dying as a species. They're more thinking, when am I up for re-election again?
No, I think actually Mitt Romney is very courageous. He said that 47% people don't pay taxes. He was very courageous. Stupid, but courageous. So I think he will do that. So anyway, I think that we have enough for our listener, for ourselves, and hopefully we will save the planet with our discussion. What do you think, RB Flesk? We will save the planet with
sure.
our...
I think this one might need some editing, but yes.
Yes, exactly, absolutely. And you, Baron Ziggy, will you think that our ideas will save the planet?
Definitely. I know for a fact that Newt Gingrich is going to be is going to be listening. So I think that he has some really good material to start Cattle Ranch on the Moon.
Cattle Ranch on the Moon. Excellent idea for Newt Gingrich. I hope that to connect this podcast with Newt Gingrich. Well, I thank you very much, RB Flesk, for your wonderful ideas. I disagree on fluorescence, I'm sorry. And thank you, Baron Ziggy, for a fantastic idea on farting. And I think I made little contributions in extending your idea, if I may, copy, extending this farting to people. All right, so...
Brilliant.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I knew it. That's typical Italian genius. Leonardo, Galileo, all these people that have this type of idea. So, okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
See you.
Ciao.
Auf Wiedersehen.